Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome. So today I'm going to be doing a review / tutorial on the new Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette. I originally was going to pick up this palette because honestly it didn't fascinate me and like draw my attention like all of his other palettes, but I asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted to see a video on it and like 90% of you said yes, so it was a handful of people that said no. So of course I had to do it and it was sold out everywhere, but I got super lucky and I found it on beautylish.com, so that's where I got my palette from. I also picked up one gloss and then a liquid lipstick that obviously wasn't part of the collection because I don't think he had liquid lipsticks besides the mini ones, but I picked up a shade that I thought would look really good with this palette. So yeah, if you guys want to see me create a look with the new Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette and also know what I think about it, then just keep on watching. Okay, so this is what the outside packaging looks like. Super gorgeous. I am a sucker for packaging. I talked a little bit more about what I think about this palette in my purchase or pass video, which I will leave a link up above if you want to check it out. I talked a little bit more about what I think about this palette and the shades inside and that sort of stuff, but the packaging is definitely gorgeous. When you open it up, of course, you have your palette inside, and then it has like a little bumper all around the edge. The bumper for my palette actually came pretty wrecked. I'll show you guys. So this is what the little bumper looked like when I received it, but as long as my palette was okay, I didn't really mind. But it definitely came a little messed up, and the box didn't come in like perfect condition either. It did have little like tears and stuff on it, but I was like, whatever. Again, as long as the palette's okay, then that's fine. And then here is the palette. First off, the velvet is just so gorgeous. Feels very luxe, of course. I wouldn't expect anything less from Jeffree Star. It looks like a little clasp, like a little like, what do you call it? A clutch kind of thing. Okay, so now don't get me wrong, this packaging is so freaking gorgeous, but I wish it was the same packaging as the other blood palettes. He has the blood sugar and the blue blood palette. I wish it was the same packaging, you know, that kind of like, let me go grab it to show you guys real quick. So this is what the original blood sugar palette looks like. It's a box and it has clasps and then it opens up. Same kind of packaging as the Conspiracy palette. And then this is the blue blood, again, square packaging with a clasp. So I wish he did like the square packaging with the clasp, you know, it just, I feel like it would have gone together a little bit better because looking at all these together, yes, very gorgeous, but like this doesn't belong. Like I wish he did like the box packaging with the velvet on the outside or something like that. Like this, it just doesn't go. It doesn't look like a collection. So that's my only disclaimer. But obviously that's not really a big deal. It's about the product, not so much the packaging anyways. So this is what the inside of the palette looks like. It's very pretty. I was expecting more purple shades because the blood sugar palette has all the reds, the pinks, the oranges. The blue blood palette has like all blues and like mint greens and then like one random coral color. And then this one, it has a decent amount of purples, but I was expecting there to be more purple shades, I guess. But still very pretty and nonetheless, and I cannot wait to dive on in. I'm going to go ahead and swatch each row for you guys. So let's go ahead and test this out. Okay, so first I'm going to swatch Your Majesty and Take the Crown. That one, oh, that's wicked pretty. This one is the shade Take the Crown. And then that one is Your Majesty. Super pretty. Oh, I love that shade. Oh my god. Alright, next we have Deviant, Beauty Sleep, Wet Jewel, and Royal Pain. Okay, so this one is Deviant. Ooh, super pretty. This one is Beauty Sleep. This one is Wet Jewel. Oh my god. Imagine that as a highlight. I think he said that in his video too. Like Wet Jewel is like a really pretty highlight color. And then lastly is Royal Pain. Wow, these swatches are so freaking buttery. And no patchiness whatsoever. Ooh, girl. That whole row right there looks super pretty, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so now the next row I'm going to split up into two parts. So I'm going to do these three and then these three. So this one is Dungeon. Then we have Scandal Water. And then Sworn Enemy. Okay, so this one right here is Dungeon. Oh, super pretty color. And then we have a Scandal Water. super pretty. That one could have used a little bit more. There we go. And then that one is a Sworn Enemy. Super pretty. That green is super unique. I've never seen a green like that before. Next is Pink Magic. Then we have a Bleeding Heart and Executioner. Ooh, that one's a super unique color. It's like black with green and purple shimmers in it. So this one is Pink Magic. Oh my god. That is so stunning. I wish you could see this color in person. Next we have a Bleeding Heart. Oh my god. Super freaking pigmented, first off. And then Executioner. You can see like the greenish purple sparkle in it. That is super unique. That's such a bad swatch, but okay, so now the next row we have High King, Vivid Mood, Monarchy, and let's see, Blood Queen. So again, we have High King. I'm gonna do a little bit better. I didn't grab enough product. There we go. So that one's High King. Then we have Vivid Mood. Again, I need to grab a little bit more product. So pretty. Monarchy. And then Blood Queen. If you're wondering what I'm looking at my mirror to make sure I don't go on top of the swatches by accident. Oh my god, that whole row is so pretty. Okay, so I actually like these shades more than I thought I would. When I first saw this palette, I was like, meh, it doesn't really look like super like fascinating. But now that I'm swatching these shades, they are so gorgeous. It's definitely like a palette you'd have to see in person and swatch yourself to know whether to purchase it or not, because the shades are totally different in person when you swatch them than what you see for like pictures online, I guess. So the last two shades are Vile Serpent and Betrayal. Super pretty. And then Betrayal. Oh my god. Okay, so those were all the shades swatched. Now it's time to create a look with this palette, and I'm so excited to dive on in and see what look I could create with this. So first I'm going to start off with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. It's the eyeshadow primer I always use to prime my eyes. I am also going to be using some tape today because I want to make sure I have a really nice crisp edge. So I'm just using my e.l.f. Line and Define eye tape. And what I do is I take one of the strips and I cut it in half. So the first shade I'm going to be taking out of this palette is the shade right here called Blood Queen. And I'm just taking that with a pencil brush. And I'm going to pack that into my crease. Okay, so now that I have that shade packed on, I'm going to go into this shade right here called High King with a small blender brush. And I'm just going to go above that line just to start diffusing that purple. Those two shades blended perfectly together. I'm going to go ahead and take the same brush that I used earlier to pack on that crease color, and I'm going to take the shade Dungeon right there. Now I'm going to put that into my crease, kind of on top of where I put that purple, just to deepen it up a little bit. Going back in with that little blending brush in the shade High King, I'm going to go ahead and blend out the edges. I'm going to go ahead and take this shade right here called Vivid Mood with a blending brush. I'm going to go ahead and blend out this pink. I'm going to go back in with that smaller blending brush with some more of High King, which is that pink. I'm just gonna blend that line. And then going back in with that pointed brush with the shade Dungeon, I'm just gonna go ahead and intensify that a little bit more. Now I'm gonna go in with the shade Deviant right there with my blending brush again. And I'm just gonna go right up here, just so we have a nice gradient effect. Now I'm going to go ahead and carve my crease. I'm going to be using my Makeup Revolution Concealer and Define Concealer. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm going to go ahead and carve my crease. Alright, so now that I cut my crease, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Wet Jewel with a flat shader brush. And I'm going to go ahead and pack that on the inner half of my eye. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Pink Magic, and that's going to go right here. And this shade is going to go all the way out into the wing. I'm just going back in with the shade Wet Jewel, which is the light shade I used first, and I'm just going to blend these two shades together. I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Betrayal, and I'm going to put that on the tail of my cut crease just to deepen it a little bit. I'm just taking a little bit more concealer with that same brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and create kind of almost like a wing. Almost like I'm doing eyeliner, but with concealer. Now that I've created kind of like that wing with concealer, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Take the Crown. And I'm going to take a small brush. I'm going to pack that on top of the concealer. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the shade Betrayal with the same brush I just used to pack on that color. And I'm just going to go right over that just to deepen it up just a little bit. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do for the eyes for now. I'm going to do my lower lash line a little bit later. But now I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face, clean up the edges, and then I will be back to do my lip color. Okay, so for my lower lash line, I used the shades Dungeon, Blood Queen, and Vivid Mood, and just kind of blended all those together. Now for the lips, I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Velour Liquid Lipstick in the shade Scorpio. I totally forgot to show you guys the inner corner highlight I used. I used the shade Beauty Sleep, and I used that on my inner corner and also my brow bone. Now for the gloss that I picked up the shade Iridescent Throne. I will go ahead and swatch it. It's just got really pretty blue and purple iridescence to it. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply it to my lips. Alrighty guys, that completes today's video, and I have to say I am so obsessed with this palette and I'm so glad I purchased it. Like I said in the beginning, I wasn't going to purchase this palette because I felt like the color scheme didn't really go together and I just wasn't like in love with it. But now that I swatched all the shades and I worked with the formula and I created this eyeshadow look, I am now officially obsessed with this palette like I am all of his other eyeshadow palettes. His formula just tops almost all the eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I just love his formula. But so yeah, if you guys are thinking about getting this palette, I know it's probably out of stock right now, but if it does restock and you guys are interested in getting this palette, I definitely recommend it. It was so worth the money and I'm just so obsessed with this look right now. Not to mention his glosses. I love his glosses. It's the same formula as all the other ones he has. You guys know I love them and I have a whole collection back there. But so yeah. Awesome gloss. I love the shade it created on top of Scorpio. I feel like it really goes with this look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments down below and give this video a big thumbs up. Also, if you're new to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button down below and turn on the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!